Well, it works so far. Good job, China.
Welcome back to the channel I call We Cars 24/7. I don't know, it's just me and my camera phone, and decided to start filming things. And it's been fun. So far, almost 600 people have subscribed. I know, it's getting serious. Today, I have a special little project that I've been wanting to do. And the reason I want to do that is for my CRX project that you've seen on the channel. Now, when it comes to Hondas these days, I don't really run like tuner boy wheels, even if they're real and Japanese and all that stuff. I don't know. I want my stuff to look OEM, you know, nostalgic. Of course, the 9091 CRX wheels are my favorite, but can't find center caps for the set that I have. So the next best thing was the 99 2000 Civic Si, a 2-year only wheel, seen here. Now that wheel was very sought after because obviously it's 2 years only and all that good stuff. So good OEM Honda wheel. I thought I'll run those on my CRX. I just got to find a set. And I found a set. But actually what I discovered was in 2003 on the Civic EX model only, Honda must have had a bunch of these things laying around and said, put them on that car, on that model only in 2003. So that same exact wheel, same part number and everything is on the 2003 EX as the 99 2000 Civic Si, the cool car. I did get a set of those locally off of a 2003 Civic EX. Some kid, you know, he didn't know anything about it. So I bought these wheels with tires on them for like $250. The tires on the 99 SI were, I think, a 50 series. They weren't very tall, but for whatever reason, this kid had kind of tall balloon tires on these rims. And I didn't really care about the tires. I was after the rims. So sold the tires on the good old Craigslist for $150, and now I'm $100 into these wheels. The problem is the clear coat on these machine-faced wheels was, it was yucky. So that wasn't going to stand. So I had them sandblasted, which is what you see here. And then I did look around for places that would remachine these to like a new OEM. They said it was like $500 to machine the wheels and make them look new. Well, I can find sets of these in pretty good shape for right around $500. That's never been the point of the way I build cars, is just to spend money and just throw stuff on the car. That's not even fun. So I have this set of wheels, and I thought, well, instead of machining them, what I'll do is the first paint color that I painted my engine bay on the CRX that I thought I wanted was called Celestial Silver. It's this one here. I don't know if you can see, but it's just a straight up silver. Here's a picture of it in the engine bay after I finished that. So it's pretty good silver, just a straight cut and dry silver. And I thought maybe what I can do is paint these wheels silver and then use a satin clear coat, which I got here from Summit Racing. Worst part about painted wheels is when you paint them and you want them to look cool, and then you put a real high gloss clear coat on them, they look painted and cheesy. Today I'm going to be sanding these. I'm going to prime them, and then I'm going to paint them and satin clear them. I hope I got enough time today. And we're going to see if I can make this wheel look like the machined wheel as it was originally. And if I screw it up, you're going to see that too. Here are the other wheels that I had sandblasted. They've been sitting around for a while, so they're a little bit dirty. It's not important that I do all of them at once because I need to figure out if I can even pull this off. You'll see there are some little flaws from the sandblasting. It's not a real smooth finish. Here's some pitting here, and you can see that pitting on the wheel. So I'm gonna need to sand that flat before I paint it. So let's get to the dirty work.
Now I know that aluminum is a very dirty metal when you start sanding it, but because it's soft, it goes pretty easy. You can see all the voids of where that's not flat. So we'll just have to make it flat going around the edge here with 320, and then we'll just bring it down from there. And I think the spokes are going to be in good shape. It's just around this edge where it's a bit pitted. So this is after my initial run with 320. You can see there's still some slight pitting in there. I went around the lip, there was some curb damage. Went around the lip with the random orbital, just try to clean that up. I'm going to be priming this the cheap and easy way with self-etching primer. This guy. Yeah, they have automotive primers and stuff, but I'm not treating this like my CRX car body. I'm trying to see if I can even make this look like a machined wheel. Also, I know everybody loves the top tip. Well, I go to Sherwin-Williams, the house painting store, and I get these little foam sanding pads. What I do is, so that's the sanding pad after it's worn out. I'll hit this with a little bit of spray adhesive. Loctite just happened to be the one that I have. And then I'll make my own whatever grit I want on this sanding pad. It just makes it a lot easier. Alright, so last night I got this thing sanded down to 320. There are a couple of pit areas. Whoa. I hit it with the self-etching and it still has some pitting. There's one little nick in the hole near the hole there. I don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I figured just with that slight pitting, I'm not making this like an auto body. I'm going to hit it with this filler primer, see if I can fill in those pits, and then wet sand it and hopefully paint. Seems like just around the edges is where the pitting is. So, try to conquer that. Nice fat wetty coat. Should get it done. There's one of the heavier little nicks there. You can see the gray filler primer is filling in the pitting. Fill it up like a pool, and then I'll wet sand it with 400. Then we'll hit it with paint and see what it looks like. Whoa, blurry. As you may have seen on one of the previous videos, this is the Harbor Freight purple gun that I painted the CRX with. It did okay, but for this small wheel I did go pick up this smaller gun, also from Harbor Freight, also made in China. So I always make it a point to take this out. I'll tear down the needles and the tips and all that and wipe them down. I don't know, it's just what I do. And it has a little tiny cup, so much more manageable. This is going to be called a detail spray gun. I think it was like 14 bucks, and I expect about $14 worth of quality. So we're going to leave this guy alone. That's a little bit too big and heavy for what we're doing on this little wheel. Well, I did attempt to punk this regulator and filter off of the big gun, and as you can see, this thread is a little bit longer than that one, so this doesn't completely bottom out. So I'm gonna have to take the fitting off of this and hope that it's the same as that. Well, it turns out that this thread size going into the gun is different than the larger guns, so Yep, we're going au natural. Well, it says there maximum air pressure is 50 psi. Remember on this larger gun I was shooting at, I don't know, 20, 25, maybe 30. Since I don't have the regulator there, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the pressure on this guy. And you do have a little bit of a pressure drop from the hose. Yeah, should be good right there. So I'm going to run some well, it works so far. Good job, China. And you can see the spray tip. This initial lacquer thinner will help clean all the China out of this thing too. Okay, I think we're good. Add our filler primer. Looks like it's dry to the touch. It said 10 minutes. You know, they'll always tell you like, wait 800 years before you sand it. Whoa, focus. There we go. So you can see there's still some pittage. But once we sand that, possibly it will be much flatter. Then we'll be ready for some paint. That brings me to today's sponsor for this video. Except I don't have sponsors because I'm just like a guy that plays with car parts in his garage and films it on his phone. Yeah, me! Anyhow, today's sponsor is Mr. Bill Foley, my friend. He found these in his old Honda stash. They are valve stem caps that happen to have the Honda logo on them. I don't know if they're officially endorsed or what they are, but he said, I'm not going to use them for anything. And I told him, I'm not using them for anything either. He's like, sweet, I'll sponsor your video with these. And anyone that comments on the video will be entered to just get these mailed to them. Now they do have these black keys, if you will, that help to prevent your valve stem caps, because they have the Honda logo on them. Everyone's going to want to steal them from being stolen. So these are steel-proof Honda valve stems. We appreciate you, Mr. Bill Foley, and every comment on this video up until, I don't know, maybe a month out. I'll enter into a drawing and then I'll ship these to you and you'll be like, what the hell are these? But you know what? Hey, we got you something, didn't we? All right, well, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought, but 2 afterworks, and you can see there's still a little bit of imperfection. So it can take a little bit more sanding, and then maybe another coat of the primer. You can see just, and it might be okay just the way it is, but I figure I'll take the extra time and do some more work to it. See what we can make of this. Well, when I started this project, I thought we'll just use one after work to scuff it up, prime it, paint it, clear it, just a little wheel. And here we are on the 3rd after work. Not just spending an hour or so a night, but I've got this primed. I've got the filler primer in. I've done some sanding. I still feel a little bit of ridges, and with the satin clear, I don't know if that's going to even show or not, but the prep is important, so I'm going to sand this down a little bit more, and I'm definitely getting paint on it tonight because I'm tired of waiting. And this is what the wheel looks like after some more 400 grit sanding. So I think we're ready to spray it and see what we've got. I didn't want to lay it on the trash can, so I found a bolt and a couple washers and maybe a bit of wire hanging from the garage door opener. I know, we're getting wild professional over here. This is Toyota Celestial Silver. Damn. couldn't find any gloves. There it is. Got it on my hand. It's getting real now. I probably mixed a little bit too much paint because I still have that much left, and I filled this thing to the top, and so you can see it's acting as a detail gun. Whoa! Oh! You know what? It is a detail gun, so I don't even know if it's supposed to be running automotive paint, but that's what we're doing. As long as it doesn't run, I'm okay with it. Well, that's after 2 coats. You can see there's still some little scratches in there and a couple of marks. So the prep work is very important. Who am I to tell you that? But I just wanted to see if this this color worked out for me. I don't think it's quite as bright as like a machine faced wheel, but it does kind of have that Type R darker aluminum-ish to it. So I'm going to switch into clear and we'll see what it looks like after that. That's going to be 1 coat of clear. Seems to be going pretty okay. Again, this detail gun, it doesn't put out a lot of paint, but it's kind of like a real good spray can. So it's working all right. That time I hit it with the Fatty McFatkins coat. And no runs, no hits, no errors. I'm like A-Rod up in here, but I think that'll do it. It's sufficiently shiny at this point, but that shine will degloss as this is satin clear, Satan clear, and then we get to see what we have and if that's going to work. Alright, well, I've had a couple days to look at this wheel and see what I've accomplished. The color, and we are sitting up against an actual machined wheel. It's not a Honda wheel, but it's machined. And you can see the color is much darker than it would really need to be. I still like the idea of having wheels that I refurbished rather than these wheels going to like a scrapyard or just being junk. So I still will probably refinish all 4 of them in a much brighter color, similar to the one behind me, to more closely mimic the machined finish. I need that contrast, and I think I'll do an overlay over, well, I don't have the car here, so I can't really hold the wheel up to the paint color that I chose for the car. But what I will do is I'll do an overlay of this wheel with the car, and you can see, I don't know, maybe you can tell me in the comments where you think, you know, there's enough contrast there, or if I should do it closer to something like this, which is an actual machined looking wheel. Well, here is the wheel that's completed, and I did feel like I rushed through the prep work, and you can tell right there. I mean, that's not going to be acceptable for the final wheels, but I wanted to at least get this color on the wheel and see if it was even something that I wanted to do. There's some more areas there that definitely could use more body work or sanding. So while the finish didn't come out great, you know, I'm going to change the color anyway. So I'll redo this wheel and do a lot more prep work on it. And then I will also complete these 3. Well, that does it for another video. WeCars 24/7. Just screwing around in the garage. During the pandemic, I started filming things, and I don't know, about 600 people have subscribed so far. Goes along the lines of what I watch on YouTube, just mindless stuff about cars. But anyway, I would appreciate you watching, and don't forget to comment for your chance to win Honda valve stem caps with steel-proof keyways. Oh yeah. If you like this video, I don't know, send it to a friend. Maybe they want to try to paint their wheels too. Maybe you want to paint your own wheels. I don't know, you probably should. I mean, yeah, I screwed up the finish and it wasn't even the color I wanted, but you can't get anywhere unless you just go do it. So we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.